The runaway tender. Ferdinand, the logging loco, was enjoying his life on the island of Sodor, but today he's being boastful and cheerful and going too much faster. Just then he was talking to Hero. "Look at me now, Hero," he said. "I'm going too fast." "Just slow down, Ferdinand," said Hero. You'll go too fast. Otherwise you'll be derailed." "Oh, who cares?" said Ferdinand. "I'm being more cheerful than I ever am," he said. "But one thing I don't like being cheerful about is me being bullied by diesels like on my first day." I know that," said Hero. "A long time before I went there." "You're right there," said Ferdinand, and Ferdinand puffed away. Later, he was taking some slate to the mine shaft. Ferdinand was excited, but he was going too fast. And he wobbled and wibbled as the slate truck came off the rails, and the slate was all in pieces and never the same slate again, and the truck fell off the rails too. When suddenly Ferdinand stopped and felt even more shocked. So did his driver and fireman. They were shocked to see that Ferdinand's tender was running away. It was the runaway tender. Hero saw it and tried to tell Ferdinand about it, but Ferdinand was nowhere to be seen. Ferdinand's tender was in the Boulder Mountain. Ferdinand's tender was in the Boulder Mountain tunnel and went out, and it went up and down it went. Hero was shocked about this, and that reminded him how Duncan changed his tender to Duke's tender and Duke's tender to his tender by accident. "Oh my," said Hero. "I'm going to warn everyone about this," he said. But there was no one there to see him. The runaway Ferdinand's tender was running away, and just then Ferdinand was looking at his friends. Smelly and Thomas were taking Spencer to the works because Spencer's side rods are broken and jammed. Ferdinand tried to warn the engines about it, but it was too late. His tender crashed into Smelly. Logs laid everywhere, all over him, and it hit Spencer on the head. "Ow!" he said. And poor Smelly was damaged and broken, Poor Smelly was damaged and broken and can't be fixed. And now Smelly's side rods were bent and his boiler dented. "Peep, peep," wailed Smelly. And Thomas with Spencer had to go away, except with Smelly on his own. Ferdinand puffed in and felt sorry for him and felt sorry for Smelly and his tender. Ferdinand had an idea, and with that, he called first the narrow gauge twin engines to help clear up this wreckage, and at last Smelly was back on the rails. Smelly was broken. Smelly's wheels were broken. He tried to move, but he couldn't, so he was sent to the works to be mended. And Ferdinand finally had his tender back. The Fat Controller was proud with him. "Well done, Ferdinand. You are a very brave engine." "Thank you, sir," said Ferdinand, and Thomas had to agree even more. Even the twins, and Smelly in the works, and the Fat Controller too, and Hero as well.